Hi, I'm Debbie Talianko, and this is Bella. She's kind of my sidekick. And she's here because she makes our home feel comfortable, and that's what today's video is about. So if you struggle with how to make your home feel warm and inviting, this video is for you. Space planning is all about comfort. So today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite rules when it comes to space plans. Here's an example of a living room. On the left, you see some squiggly lines. Those are my drapery. And then you have a grouping with a sofa and 2 chairs and 3 tables and a rug. Rule number 1 is to always leave enough space for knees and for reach. So in this case, a good rule is 12 to 15 inches. If you've ever been in somebody's home and their table is too close to the sofa and you feel like your knees are scrunched up and you're not comfortable, that's not a good thing, right? Or if the table is too far away, that can also be uncomfortable. So rule number 2, going along with that thought, is always having a place to set a drink, someplace that you can reach. In this case, you can see that the people in the chairs or the ends of the sofas could probably reach those side tables, and the people in the middle of the sofa could use the cocktail table. But do you notice anything wrong with this picture? Can you imagine standing in that doorway and how you might feel? It might feel off kilter or out of balance, right? Kind of lopsided. Rule number 3 is to create different activity zones. So now I've added a chaise lounge, a side table, a TV stand, and a tall tree perhaps. So I've sort of filled up that right-hand corner. And then rule number 4 is to have 30 to 40 inches of good traffic flow. For any room, this would apply. So if you've ever stood in a doorway and you feel like you've got to round your shoulders a little bit, or you just don't have enough elbow room, or as you pass through a room, you feel like you've got to slightly turn sideways, those are probably because there's not enough good walking space or traffic space. Now we'll talk a little bit about lighting over a table. Always allow at least 30 inches off of a table surface before a light fixture. This is so that 2 people or all the people at the table can converse comfortably. And when it comes to rugs around a table, not every room is going to be big enough for a rug. So sometimes it's okay to go without a rug, but a good rule of thumb is to go 24 to 30 inches more than the table size on any size of that rug. So in this case, you're seeing 24 inches or 30 inches. So that would mean either 48 inches bigger if you add the 2, or 60 inches bigger than the table itself. This is so that when you pull your chair out and then you come back in, the back legs of your chair don't catch the rug or scrape the floor. Also, I like to consider centering lines when I'm designing a space plan. So keeping in mind that nothing is ever perfect, there's no perfect situation, every room is going to have its challenges, it's nice to consider things that you might center other things on. So in this case, you can see that I've centered that chair on the doorway and the sofa on the window. This would be a very perfect situation, but maybe one or the other would apply in your room. So it's just good to think about. And then also other dimensions for comfort. One is a seat depth. So for this sofa, for instance, you're looking down on the sofa now. From the cushion to the front of the sofa, a good seat depth or standard depth would be 21 to 23 inches. And this is so that it accommodates more sizes of people, if you will. If you've got somebody really tall, or everyone tall in your family, then maybe 23 makes more sense. Or if it's a sofa that you want to just lounge in and watch TV, 23 makes a lot of sense. But 21 is probably better for the medium-sized to shorter person. So you'll be seeing a guide that I've created with typically sized furniture in your download section. Pay close attention to those dimensions and you'll start to get the hang of what things are. And remember again, it's not a perfect world. So let's review. Here are the 8 points we've just gone through. Knee space between pieces, always having a place to set a drink, creating different activity zones, having clear traffic patterns, proper heights over tables, rug sizes to allow a chair to pull out, centering lines, and comfort dimensions. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and remember to hit the bell because then you'll be notified every time I release a new video. If you'd like to learn more about your own design style, I offer a free design style quiz, which you'll find a link for at the description under this video. If you haven't seen my video yet on how to measure a room, I suggest you try this one next so that you don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.